Hi everyone, welcome to the Fighting Dementia podcast. So we recently tried to do intro videos and they were a bit of a disaster. So we thought we'd just do a little mini intro every time we do a podcast. So I'm Leon, co-host of the show and owner of the company behind the podcast. And yeah, this podcast is for anyone who's living with dementia in the early to middle stages and for people who are supporting someone living with dementia. And even if you're thinking, you're worried about getting dementia, it's also for you as well. So that's me.
And I'm Tom. I was diagnosed with mixed dementia 8 years ago, and I'm living really well with it.
There we go.
There you go.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, welcome.
And we had a little cup of tea before, and we
did.
Had to think about what you wanted to talk about today. We've been talking a bit about cooking books and things, and Fran, our other co-host, unfortunately had a bit of a doctor's appointment, so she's not around today. So we'll pick up the cooking conversation and the cookbooks conversation maybe when she's back.
Yeah.
And you said you fancy talking about mood changes.
Yeah, I had a very bad mood change. Yeah. Well, I used to be very happy-go-lucky. Then over the certain amount, I don't know, say year or something, I was really aggressive to my wife and my son. Never hit them, but I was verbally aggressive.
This was back when you were first getting diagnosed?
Before I was diagnosed.
Before, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and I just felt weird. Everything that went wrong, it was their fault. But once I got my diagnosis and I knew something was wrong, it also just changed or when it fell into place.
Yeah.
And I've been great ever since. It's brilliant.
And what about now in terms of mood changes and how it, you're 8 years in, or 8 and a bit years now. How do you find your mood on like a day-to-day, week-to-week?
Really good. I do have a down day now and again, but not like I used to have. I mean, I can go like weeks without having anything go wrong at all. I don't lose my temper anymore. Just weird.
Yeah, that's
just happy-go-lucky and just get on with everything.
And what does a down day look like?
I call it a woolly-headed day because it's just like everything's going wrong in your head. And then you just feel absolutely useless. And you just can't do anything. I can just sit there and stare at a wall for hours. And luckily, they don't last for long now. But I have had one or two like that in the past.
And that's physically where you feel like you can't do so, as well as...
Just absolutely drained.
Drained.
Yeah. Got no interest in doing anything at all. You find it hard to get any interest in anything. But like I said, not that often now. I think I'm just happy with myself as I am.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that before in terms of how physically active you are.
Oh, I go to work, ride my bike once a week. I used to go out about 3 or 4 times a week when I was younger, but now I'm getting older. It's only once a week, I do 20 miles. That's really good. I mean, I walk to work and I walk home, that's about a mile. Yeah, it's very good. I enjoy it.
And you're out there visiting the Sedgemoor group that you're part of.
The Sedgemoor group. Yeah, that's brilliant, that is. It's that really helped me in Marion because there's nothing for us like that over where we're from, Ellesmere Port. But they go in there and talking to other people with the same problems as you, it just irons everything out. It's not just you, you're with other people.
Yeah.
Feeling the same. And also the carers get a chance to talk to each other. Supporters get a chance to talk to each other.
Yeah, which is really important to share knowledge and see what sometimes the realities of things are, or the realities of like what people are facing at what different times, because it makes people feel better to understand that they're going through it as well.
But I think a lot of the time, the emphasis is on the person with the illness, not the person who's looking after them. Because they can go down as well. They can have a bad day, but they need support and help as much as possible.
Yeah. And do you ever reflect on the previous Christmases as we're now coming up to Christmas? Do you have mood changes around there? Does your mood stay stable? Because you're quite a fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I like Christmas. Yeah, I'm just usually just tired, that's all. No, because I have to work just 3 hours in the morning on Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just tired, but I still make an effort to go out and be with the family. I enjoy that, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this is a really good time for me.
Because you're singing Christmas songs all year round.
12 months of the year. I absolutely love them. It's the only thing they can remember.
And when did that start?
I would say about a year after I got diagnosed.
Really?
Possibly, wouldn't it? Yeah.
We're just looking to Marion, Tom's wife, here for
Yeah. About a year
confirmation.
after got diagnosed.
Okay.
But Manny's trying to get me to go to the singing for the brain, but nah, I can't sing. It's not the fact I can't sing. I can't keep up with the words. I can't read fast enough.
For new songs, you're thinking?
Yeah. That's half the problem. I mean, I can shout as loud as anyone, but singing and reading at the same time, it's a little bit awkward for me, I think.
And what about your mood in the evenings? Because there's that thing called sundowning, isn't there, for people sometimes who have dementia where the sun will go down and their mood can change. Do you have that at all in the evenings?
I've not noticed it, no.
No.
I've been fine.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Great. And what do you think? What do you think other people can learn about in terms of? Have you always been this physically active in your whole life, and that's what you've managed to carry through? Because you actually stopped cycling, didn't you, when you got
diagnosed? I got a diagnosis because I didn't think I could do it anymore.
Yeah.
But I have been, because I used to play a lot of rugby when I was younger. But when I got my job at sea, I had to keep fit for my medicals every year. And I started cycling. Well, I used to run first, and that damaged my knees. That wasn't very good. So I thought, I might as well sit down and get tired. So I got to take up riding, cycling, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. And have you found it since diagnosis? So you gave up cycling, and so did you give up a lot of physical activity at that time?
I just stopped everything. Just didn't do anything.
How long do you think that lasted for?
About 12 months.
Wow.
12, 18 months, something like that, yeah.
And how did you find, and then what made you decide to?
I thought, well, just because I've got an illness, it can't stop me doing anything, which it shouldn't. And then I just thought, I'm going to say something, no, I won't. I thought, well, I may as well just get another bike and try again. And I did. And it's just worked out well for me.
And
I think that's what's keeping the dementia away, really, because I'm physically active and I'm doing stuff. My brain's working, I hope. And it's just how I like to be.
And did you find it hard to pick riding up again and pick up being more active and going for walks and going into work and doing a physical job? Did you find that hard, or did you just?
I'd say the first 3 or 4 months at work was hard because it's a different sort of job. But now I absolutely love it. I look forward to going to work and seeing the people I work with.
Yeah.
I do 3 hours and the 3 hours just flies by. You've got 3 hours to clean a whole pub.
Yeah, and we've been, because when we did the thing for the BBC, we went and me and Fran came, didn't we, to film from there. And in my mind, when you said you worked and you cleaned a pub, I thought about like the end of a terraced pub that had like 20 seats in. Yeah. But this is like a colossal. Oh, it's, I mean, how many do you think it can seat?
Well, the other day they had in the Cape, I assume it's called, there was 40 in there.
Yeah, that's one room.
Dinner, yeah.
Yeah. And
you got another, the 20 down the bottom in the dining room.
Yeah.
And Lord knows how many in the bar.
So, yeah. Well, you could squeeze, 40, 50 people around that area.
Easy. Yeah.
So there's 3 big rooms. Yeah, it's like 150 seater pub pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like quite a large space that you're cleaning. It's like a lot of effort, isn't it?
It takes me 2 hours and 15 minutes. Because I get it done from 9 o'clock. It takes me, I finish by 11:15.
Yeah.
And then I start doing other jobs I have to do.
Yeah. I think that for me, seeing you and knowing you the last few years, the physical exertion that you're putting in is absolutely keeping your dementia at bay in one way.
I never think about it, dementia or that. I just think it's Tom going to work or Tom going out on his bike.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all it is. And even the people in work don't see me any different. It's just Tom.
Of course. Absolutely. Yeah.
And they shouldn't see any different, really, just because he's got an illness.
Well, I think that's it's thinking about it from the audience's perspective, from someone who might just be diagnosed, thinking, do I do that much physical exercise? Am I exercising? Because we get told all our lives, don't we, to exercise and to keep fit and all that. And, it's easy at times in your life to forget that, or to maybe that's not what you're into in terms of like physical exertion. But where you've ended up with the bike rides, with playing golf, with going to work, it's absolutely doing good things for your brain health. And it will do for anyone. And I think it's worthwhile for people in the early or whatever stage you're at with dementia to think about, okay, well, how could I push my physical exercise, even if it's just going for walks 5 times a week for an
All
hour?
you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it affects everyone different.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to stop doing what you like doing just because you've got a diagnosis.
Yeah. Well, that's important. Yeah. If you are already physically doing things, absolutely keep it up. And if not, do more.
Yeah. Just carry on.
Yeah.
You're no different.
Great. Well, we've got a guest on who has written a book, and the book is about something that we're going to learn about, Tom, because I've forgotten what it is, but we will know. And hopefully we have a guest in the waiting lobby. And if we don't, we'll come back and we'll keep chatting.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. I'll have a little break. See you in a sec.
Bye now.
We really hope you're enjoying this podcast. We want this to be one of the best free resources for any family affected by dementia. With your help, we can build the biggest community in the world for supporting, guiding and comforting everyone who faces cognitive issues and the people around them. So please hit that subscribe button or share it with someone who needs it. Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Pleasure to be joined by Marion, who's Tom's wife. Hi Marion.
Hi.
You
Hi
okay?
everyone. Yes, I'm good, thanks.
Great. And we've also got Tami Anastasia, who's joining us from California. Hi Tami.
Hello, Leon. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Pleasure to have you on. Do you want to tell us why you're joining the podcast and also where you were joining from, which would be nice to hear?
Sure. So I am from California. So big difference in time zone when this is being taped, right?
Yeah.
So yes, my name is Tami Anastasia, and I'm a dementia care expert and educational, and also I have a private practice, and I work with family caregivers on how to navigate and deal with all the behavior and cognitive changes that occur in a loved one living with dementia. And so I've written 2 books. My first book is Essential Strategies for the Dementia Caregiver, Learning to Pace Yourself. And my second book that just came out about a month ago is Dementia Caregiving and Personal History, How to Help Cope, Connect, and Heal. And so you reached out and I reached out, and here we are doing an interview.
Fantastic. So do you want to tell us more about how you've ended up writing books and doing what you do?
Sure. So I've been in private practice since 1991. And my grandmother actually had dementia, and we didn't know at the time that it was dementia.
Just to ask, what's private practice? Just because we're over here in the UK, does that mean a doctor? Does it what's private practice?
Oh, I have a master's in counseling psychology.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No,
So you're a counselor.
No problem.
Yeah.
And so 1991, I started my counseling practice. And when I was in high school, my grandmother got diagnosed with senility at the time it was called. And fast forward about 30 years, it turns out what she really had was dementia. And none of us were aware of what it was and how to deal with these changes. And I can remember my father coming home really tearful about seeing his mother, and we were kind of protected from seeing her because her behavior had changed so much. So now my way of paying it forward is I wasn't able to provide the education and the strategies and the skills that my father could have used back then in our family. So now I am able to do that for other families who are going through this journey.
Wow. And so you're helping these families quite regularly at the moment as part of like a specialism. Is that right? Or
That is correct. Yes. So I work daily and every day. I do work 7 days a week. And now with Zoom, I'm able to counsel and work with families in all different parts of the world. And we're able to do this. You're in the UK and I'm out here. So it truly is a pleasure to talk with you and have this opportunity.
Yeah, it's really nice to have you on. Have you got any questions, Marion? Seeing as we call them supporters in this podcast, because we felt that when we were talking and saying that describing Marion as a carer doesn't feel correct in the early, even middle to late stages, where at the end of the day, you're just living your life and trying to do the best that you can. And Tom would say that he doesn't need care every day.
Not every day, no. I'm quite happy the way I am.
Yeah.
I'm healthy.
Yeah.
I'm active.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm just me. Happy.
So we tend to call them supporters. So Marion, have you got any questions for Tami?
I think one of the things I struggle with is asking for help.
Yes.
I don't know why I feel like that, but I think it's so hard. I think I can cope and do everything, but then some days, I do burn out.
Yep. So that is very normal. That I would say is probably one of the top 3 issues that many people who are caring for a loved one struggle with, with asking for help. And that often means that, we don't know what messaging you got when you were younger or culturally. Some people feel that it's not okay to talk about or ask for help because we have to keep things private within the family. And then also some people think, well, if I ask for help, it means I'm failing or I'm letting my loved one down. Do any of those resonate with you in terms of asking for help? Is it embarrassing to ask for help? Do you think it's a reflection on you if you ask for help?
I don't think it's a reflection on me. I can't put it into words, but I don't like to, and I don't want to burden other people. I don't want, I can cope most of the times, but I do talk to friends. So if I'm having a bad day, I'll talk to friends or family. But I just think I want to do the best I can for Tom and our son. I think that's the main thing. And I know I don't think they'd want somebody else coming in, trying to help them.
Yeah, that too is very, very common. So it's fantastic to hear that you have the emotional support. What can also happen is the physical becomes something that wears you down as well. So I'm super happy to hear that you have the emotional support because that's super important. So, and this is another issue, right? We don't want strangers coming into the home. And that's really, really hard to accept that we're having strangers come to the home. So when we introduce new people coming into the home, we try to nurture a relationship before, get to know them. You can screen them. You can, reach out to professional home care agencies or ask friends if they know of anybody who's worked with people living with dementia. Let me ask Tom. Tom, would you be opposed if somebody were to come into the home and help your wife out a little bit?
No, but I think Marion's doing a fantastic job. Everything I have now, Marion's got it for me. I wouldn't want anybody else coming and sticking a nose in.
So this is why we'll meet resistance, because there's a privacy issue and you want your privacy to be respected and you want your privacy to remain between the two of you. And that makes perfect sense. So I think both of you will want to think about if there was a time, let's just think if there was a time hypothetically where help would be needed, what would that look like? And then the two of you could discuss how and when you might bring somebody in. But right now, things are manageable, right? Marion, you're able to manage it pretty good. And yes, we do have good days and we have bad days, right? Good days are rough. Good days are hard. And that right now, because it's not consistently bad, it's still manageable. But it would be nice to have you and Tom talk with each other and say, at what point would we need to bring help in so you both are in agreement and are able to support that decision? Because at some point, as the dementia progresses, his needs eventually will increase. And each time his needs increase will demand more and more care. And I often say dementia demands more care than one person can provide. But you are going to be the best people to determine when is that need needed. Because at some point it may be needed, and you having that discussion now, what does that look like? And when would be a good time to bring in more help? So now I'm going to go back to Marion. Marion, you say you have difficulty asking for help. So I guess my question right now is, do you think you need or want help right now?
No, I don't think Tom needs the help now. He's very independent and he's living well with his dementia. So I know in the past I've struggled sort of with my mental health. And that's when I struggled to ask for help. But
Okay.
I do know, the symptoms now. I know what to do.
Great. So you know when the mental health is being affected and you have a plan for how to deal with that when it happens?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So you are in touch with how things are affecting you mentally, physically, and emotionally. And right now, it sounds like you've got a pretty good toolkit that helps you stay supported. So the question will become, what do we do when and if that changes? At some point, that might change, and we want to keep adding and increasing to your toolbox so you get the mental and the emotional support that you need, as well as the physical. And then as Tom's needs increase, if it becomes more challenging for you, that we have a plan in place that you can act on when the time is right.
I find it really
Yeah.
interesting because it's difficult. I would say that's a difficult conversation or a difficult topic. What do you think,
Very.
Tom?
I don't know, to be honest.
It's fine by me.
It is.
Tom, you're too agreeable.
It's funny. Well, it's funny because we literally just talked before you came on about some of the unknown. We're talking about mood, and we were discussing on a different episode previously, and we're actually going to bring it up later on Reminiscence Corner, which is this thing we do at the end of the show, about how one of the symptoms of frontal temporal is that you don't have any emotions. So I'm sat here thinking this sounds like a difficult conversation. I don't know if you felt that, Marion, that would be a difficult conversation.
It would be a difficult conversation, but we have talked about care homes and things like that. So Tom wants to go to one round the corner because there's a pub opposite.
Well, I think we can all agree that's a long way in the future.
Definitely.
But yeah, when it comes to help in the home, because we've learned a lot about, well, from what we can see, the longer that you can stay at home and, surrounded by family, that's, ideally for the rest of your life.
Well, I'm staying at home.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
No.
Yes.
So I find it interesting that I'm feeling like, that sounds like a difficult conversation topic, but then Tom, you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe that's mixed to some of the lack of emotion around whatever. And so you'd be happy to talk about that type of stuff.
Yeah, I'll be happy what Marilyn wants to do. It's just, as long as she's happy, that's the most important thing.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
And Tami, so is this what your book is about? Where we're talking now?
Yeah. My second book, this second book that I just wrote, has a lot to do with understanding how the person living with dementia, their personal history, and how that personal history can come to the surface when we have dementia. Because I have, let's say, Tom, how old are you?
63.
All right. So you have 63 years of memories and life experiences. And so what can happen is that these 63 years of memories and experience can come to the surface because the coping mechanisms and the way I used to deal with life events as dementia increases, we're not able to access those coping mechanisms. And so these memories come to the surface more. And a lot of time with dementia, a lot of people dismiss it as, well, that's just the dementia behavior. When in reality, at least in my private practice, I have found there's often a connection to a behavior, to a past situation. It could be underlying personality traits that come to the surface, or specific events that have happened in their past can come to the surface. And then for the caregiver has their own history. They come with years and years of memories and experience as well. And what can happen when we're caring for a loved one with dementia, our buttons can get pushed and we can get triggered. And if we understand how our past is triggering us, then we can cope and we can take better care of ourselves. And when we're caring for the loved one with dementia, we can provide more personalized care based on what we know about their personal history. But the theme throughout the book, what really motivated me to write the book, was that we can use this dementia journey to heal old wounds. I've had clients with dementia who've been abandoned, who've been neglected, have been abused, either physically, emotionally, maybe even sexually. And in the end, in the dementia journey, we can give them language and care that maybe they never, ever, ever had as a child, as growing up. And then also we can use the dementia journey to heal old wounds in ourselves as the caregiver. So that was my main motivation, was how we can use this dementia journey for as complicated, complex, challenging, difficult, and meaningful as it can be. It can also be very healing in many ways, that it gives us this opportunity to give language and care to the person living with dementia and for the caregiver in ways they may have never received before.
Wow. How? What do you think about that, Marion?
I think that it's an amazing, really, because you're doing two things, and you're looking into the past and trying to heal what's gone on there, as well as deal with the dementia.
Yeah, it's interesting. What do you think, Tom? Was some of the language a bit? Did you follow it okay? Did it make sense?
Not really, no.
No.
Not in my head.
Tami, if you could put it into, I don't know, like a really short sort of one sentence. I'll have a go afterwards as well, and maybe Marion could, but from our interpretation, how would you put it into one sentence?
Yeah. So what I would put it in one sentence is, when we're caring for a loved one with dementia, we have to remember the person they were and are, and who they are now with dementia.
Cool. And that can help in a better experience for everyone involved, in a family, in a community.
Yeah, because we get focused on the dementia, and we get focused on the brain not functioning properly. And we also many times can dismiss that behaviors and what they are telling us is messaging or things that have happened in their past that can be very beneficial for us to help us figure out what's the best way to care for them. Now, not always are we going to figure out what that past is, but there's a language and a way we can provide care that can make them feel still heard and understood, even if we can't understand what they might be telling us, right? Speech can be an
In that
issue
moment,
at some
yeah.
point. They can't communicate. But if I know that this person, suffered a trauma when they were a child, that's going to be incredibly important for me to know when I'm caring for a loved one who has dementia,
That makes
if
sense.
I'm aware of that trauma.
Yeah. And did that one sentence help you understand that, Tom?
Slightly, yes, it
Yeah.
did. But I feel having dementia has made me a better person
Uh-huh.
because I wasn't very nice before I was diagnosed. And I feel a lot happier with myself now.
Yes. And what's changed, Tom, to make you feel better about that?
I'm not angry anymore. I used to be really, really angry and shouting at people. But now I just really mellow and happy.
Very mellow and happy. If you could describe the anger before you got the dementia, what would you say caused you to get so angry, and now what has changed that makes you much calmer?
Anything could make me get angry really before I was diagnosed. But now I just feel like I'm a happier person all over, all through.
Okay, so this is a good example here. Angry before I get dementia, but now I'm calmer and I feel a little more happier. If you were to describe happy, Tom, what would be 2 words that you would say that make you happier now?
Being married to my wife.
Oh.
And I also like doing a lot of cycling as well. Keep myself motivated.
Great, great. Would you have done that cycling before?
I did, yeah, but I always went out with an attitude. I'm going to have an argument with somebody while I'm cycling. But now I don't.
Yeah, yeah. So this is very interesting. And what would trigger the anger before? What would make you think I'm going to get in an argument with somebody before?
Well, I think I'd just go looking for an argument. It wouldn't have to be anything, really. I'd just, boom, I'm gone. That was it.
Okay. So now you don't need to look for an argument anymore.
Nope. Like I said before, I'm really happy and pleased how I am.
Okay. How much of that happiness is because of the care Marion's providing for you?
I think it's all of it, really.
No. I think some of the anger was frustration.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't remember quite a lot of things.
And now it's almost like you've accepted, oh, well, that's why I can't remember, and that's this. Because I don't think you were angry in your 20s and 30s, was he?
No.
No. It was more in the years in the lead up to the diagnosis, I think.
Yeah. Because he wasn't like that when we got married. I would never have married him.
Yeah.
Fine. It's not my fault.
Watch out, Tom. Marion gets wiser with this.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah.
So I think that we've actually heard a lot of this, haven't we? We had Michelle on who was specifically talking about what about the person? What about their history? Who are they? Forget about the dementia. This is a person in front of you. She said, oh, someone leaves the door and right, I'm going. Oh, instead of saying stop it, don't come back. Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, okay, you're going to London. Okay, why are you going there? Oh, well, da-da-da. Why do you want to do that? Oh, actually, no. Instead of stopping and, forcing that person back into the home without talking to them about why they want to go, where they're going, it's a totally different approach, isn't it? And so I think that, your book sounds really interesting, and what we should do is go away and maybe read it, buy a few copies. We can share it with our other co-host, Fran, and her supporter, Frank, and then have you back on to talk about it. I think that would make a lot of sense, because I think it's quite, when you're talking, it's quite complex, to get your head around. So I think it'd be great if we went away, read it, and then maybe had you back on in a month or so a month or two, and then we could reflect back and talk about it in even more detail. What do you think, Tami?
Sure. Yeah. I think, again, the concept of, it's not just the dementia. It's let's understand the person, again, growing up as a child. I mean, the childhood is tremendously impactful, and it's impacting to us as adults, and we have capacity. And then we get dementia, and what do we do with all of that history that is really within us? And somehow it may manifest, it may come out in dementia because we lose the ability to regulate our emotions, and we can't repress those memories that maybe were painful come to the surface, right? So sure, whatever, I'd be happy to join you again and discuss in more detail as you get more familiar with the content and what I have written in the book, for sure.
Yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense. What do you think, Marion?
I think it would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. And if you would like to leave the audience for now with, a reason to look at the book, or, do you want to leave us with a thought of why you think this can really help people? We kind of focus on the early to middle stages of the disease, I guess. So if you could think about that as the sort of community, the audience, hopefully we have a lot of people living with dementia, and also people supporting people living, and sometimes family members as well. What would you like to leave the audience with today?
Yeah, so I'd like to leave the audience with two messages. One is the caregiver is as important as the person they're taking care of. And often the caregiver can feel very, very alone, and get very upset with themselves because they get impatient or they get angry. So I want every caregiver to know you're not alone and your feelings count. And I would just like to normalize that what you're going through is very common, and not to be judgmental or critical of yourself. And then also for the person living with dementia, that dementia doesn't define them. What dementia may do is bring to the surface, again, past issues, and they also are doing the very best that they can. And no dementia person's ever saying or doing anything with the intent to be hurtful. And so I think I just want everybody listening that we're all doing the best that we can. And for those of you caring for a loved one with dementia, thank you so much for the care and the love and the support you provide. And don't forget to give that back to yourself as well.
There you go.
Yeah, that's great, that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
There you go.
It was.
Tami,
You
it's
bet.
been a pleasure to have you on, and we really hope you take up our invite to come back on in a month or two, once we've had a chance to read the book and get our heads around it a little bit more, and then we can have another conversation if you're up for it.
I would totally enjoy that. And truly, it's been a pleasure to meet all three of you. And,
Fantastic.
Remember, you're all gifts to us as well.
Yeah, I think next time we'll invite Fran, who's our regular co-host, on with her partner, Frank, and I'll sit off camera, and you five can have a nice chat once we've all had a go at the book. So, yeah, really appreciate your time, Tami.
Thank you.
Thank you again,
Thanks for
everybody.
coming on. Thanks.
We hope you're enjoying listening to our podcasts.
If you'd like to come on the show,
You can get in touch with us
if you're a scientist or a health expert,
if you're living with dementia or you're supporting anyone with dementia.
then drop us a line.
You can email us on hello@fightingdementiapod.com. We just say, well, it happened and I could get knocked over by a bus tomorrow, so might as well go out and do what I need to do.
Right, let's get on the bus.
Is that okay? There's so many facets to it, and there's so much about, like the spatial awareness. You can't see things properly. Horrendous, because it's like, makes me sick. It's just dipping in and out. Anything black looks like a hole. Done. I've stopped using black bags, because when I go to put things in my bag, it just freaks me out. I know it sounds ridiculous. See, look the way it's black. It's like you put your hands in it and it's like a hole. You don't know where your hands are going, because if you get a plain bag, a black bag, you find it hard to put your stuff in and out of it because you look like you're in the black hole. You've got to have something coloured or dotted or something like that.
Did you know that before you got diagnosed?
No, I didn't know.
So is that just as surprising to you?
Yeah. Because I found I couldn't get me cards out or anything, and I was dragging all the stuff out my bag because I couldn't do it properly. And that's what happens in shops.
There you go.
I don't have that problem. I don't have a bag.
That's
Not a handbag
we
anyway.
won't talk about handbags then. So yeah, just thought we'd have a little think about that clip and maybe talk about for you, Tom. So Fran's got vascular dementia and Alzheimer's, and you've got Alzheimer's and frontal temporal
lobe thingy.
Yeah, that one. So are there any symptoms or things that people might not be aware of or that you'd like to share with people who might have similar mixed dementia?
Stairs is one for me. I always forget the last step. I don't know why. I just don't remember it's there. It's just steps.
Is that something about how it appears, or you think?
I think so, yeah, because I don't know what it is. I just forget the steps
Yeah.
there. And also my balance isn't too good. But on my bike, I'm fine, but sometimes I'll just stumble at home. And there's nothing there. I just stumble. Malin says I drag my feet. But I suppose I do, don't I? Yeah. So she says anyway. I just do as I'm told.
So balance.
Yeah, balance. It's one thing for me. There's not much else really.
Anything like what Fran mentioned about the black and the spaces, or have you never
I
noticed
haven't
anything
noticed
like
it. Really. I mean, another thing for me is my speech. Sometimes that's not very good.
that? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll be in a conversation, I'll just stop because I can't remember what I've got to say.
Okay.
That's another thing I found.
Yeah.
But as of stairs, the only one I say, like, I can't remember the last stairs there, but everything else has been fine.
And anything else you can think of?
No, really. I think I've forgotten it all. Oh, wow. No, I've got no emotions
Oh, okay.
at all. So that's something to do with me temporal lobe thingy, I think. But yeah, that's another thing. No emotion.
So fear, sadness.
Don't think it's there at all. Yeah. I think maybe that's why I don't get angry anymore. I just haven't got a clue. But I'm happy the way I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you seem quite content.
Oh, I am, yeah.
But I don't know if content is an emotion. Is content an emotion? Don't know.
Could be. I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest with you.
So throughout the day, you're not going through sort of waves of feeling
No.
unhappy, sad, happy, sad.
I just seem to be stuck in happy mode and that's it. Get on with it mode, I suppose. Like I said before, I don't even think about having dementia.
And do you think that helps with it? Because you are very sharp when it comes to being quick-witted.
No.
Sometimes, because there's a lot of talk on this podcast, your jokes don't even get heard because you'll make them and maybe someone's talked over you or something. But we had the episode that I just watched last night with Michelle, and I asked her when she was going to be Prime Minister. And then we were laughing, and then you said, "Oh, well, it's the first time that I've ever sat next to anyone who talks more than Fran," and we all burst out laughing. And it was I think it's one of the funniest moments we've had on the podcast. And we were at the Sedgemoor group the other day, and again, you'd come out with something like so quick, couldn't even believe it. And is that because something to do with not having any emotions? You're able to.
I would have thought so. Something just comes in my head, and then it goes out my mouth. I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
It just pops in and pops out.
Yeah.
I think it could be, yeah. But like I said before, I wasn't like this before I had dementia. I didn't have much of a sense of humour. But it amazes me sometimes the rubbish I come out with, but it's funny rubbish.
No, it is. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. No emotions. And so, from your perspective, you don't feel that that's actually affected you that much to not
No.
have emotions
No,
or feel emotions.
no, not at all. I just feel like I don't feel like anything.
Almost
really.
like stable.
Yeah, happy.
I think so. I think a few people could probably do with this for a little bit of time to not
Well,
to become a bit more stable, especially if you've got a lot
themselves.
going on in your life.
well, especially people in Parliament.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thanks for the little chat.
No problem.
And hope you enjoyed listening today. Hope you enjoyed the conversation with our guests. We thought it was quite interesting, didn't
Yeah,
we?
that's really good. Yeah, that book was good.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
That's all for now, folks.
Thanks for listening to us today. Hope it's been useful. If you have any questions or comments that you wish to make, just contact us on social media.
Thanks again for listening today. Just a reminder to do your own research. We always take guests, scientists, researchers, people supporting people living with dementia, people living with dementia at their word. They might talk about things that are new in science. They might talk about things that have really helped them. So just a reminder, do your own research. And thanks again for listening.